Hello, and welcome to Goblins and Aliens. In my last video, I set a challenge to my buddy Mike. This is my interpretation of Sweden in model format. Other than Vikings, ABBA and IKEA, what do we know about Sweden? A quick Google search to pique my interest and gain some inspiration. The Swedish flag is a Nordic gold cross on a sea of pale blue. This is a good starting point for a colour scheme. I didn't want to use the flag in disrespectful fashion, so I had a look at traditional Swedish clothing. Fortunately, it consists of blue and yellow, just like the flag. But what model will I paint? Mike and I started communicating when I did a video about starter sets and Space Marines. I have one Space Marine left. For a Space Marine with blue and yellow trim seems a bit overdone. Then I thought the orcs look a bit like Vikings. That left me just the shield to paint with the flag, which seemed a bit of a cop-out. Don't get me wrong, I did have an idea for a Morkborg style orc. If you are interested in any Morkborg content, leave a comment below. Then the planets aligned. I started to read up about Greta Garbo, once deemed the most beautiful woman, but she suffered depression and shunned the limelight. Didn't attend any big Hollywood functions and refused to do interviews. She simply wanted to be left alone. She could be the original goth. And as a goth, I thought I would honour Greta Garbo with this challenge. I'm going to paint up a Sisters of Battle in this fictional Swedish dress. I was only able to sub-assemble into 3 parts. Sometimes the model doesn't allow a multi-part sub-assembly. I find it important not to work against the construction of the miniature. You'll only give yourself a headache. A quick rundown to the garden, primed it black with a top-down dusting of Vampire Violet. Colour blocking is a good way to see if the idea in your head looks good in real life. A quick rough placement of the main colour to see them harmonise. At the same time, I wanted to lay down the groundwork for later. I apply the paint in a scratchy pattern to replicate fabric. Happy with the colour placement, it's time to move on to the fine tuning and the smoothness of each section. Starting from the inmost section, working the way out. After colour blocking, I found myself bouncing around the model, unlike my usual focused method. It was refreshing to let this happen. For the weapon and other metallic elements, I decided to use the base shade highlight method with metallic paints. I've not used metallic paints in quite some time. Not that there's anything wrong with them, I've just been trying my hardest to nail NMM. The trick with using metallics is to treat them like normal colours. It is tempting to leave them after one coat, but they do look best with a bit of shading and highlighting. I will go over this in another video. The purpose of this video is not a paint by numbers tutorial, but a relaxing change of pace. Musically, Sweden has been in my musical conscious for a while, so that aspect of the challenge was surprisingly easy. Throughout this challenge I listened to Catatonia and Opeth. This really got me in the mood. This is my finished model. You might notice that the base hasn't been complete. That is something I'll be still working on, but I wanted to stick to the week-long challenge that I set Mike. If you have found any value in this video, please consider subscribing, liking, and leaving a comment below. Thank you for watching and take care.